If I had to start today building a non-alcoholic beverage focused business, there is things I would do differently. My name is Joshua James, also known as Josh the Non-Alcoholic on YouTube, and I own Ocean Beach Cafe. It is a non-alcoholic bar and bottle shop of San Francisco. Yes, I called it a cafe because I wanted to get a ton of people in there so that they could see the most amazing non alcoholic beers, wines, spirits, elixirs, functional beverages, all of it. But one of the things that takes up most of my brain space and energy and passion today is how can I help other people learn from the things that I've learned as I'm figuring this out as well. I don't think everybody knows exactly what to do in their given subject, but I have definitely spent hundreds of hours thinking about business, the non alc business, how we can do this successfully. And I would love to be a part of getting other people inspired to do it. If people have non alcoholic beverage focused businesses already, like how we can be successful. And that's what this video is going to be about. And I have 10 more coming. And then I have another 10 after that. And I want to keep going because this is my industry. You guys are my community. And I am so excited about making as much content, bringing as much value as I can, and the least amount of fluff as possible. So the 5 things that you're going to learn in this video is number 1, choosing a path with intention and information. Number 2, we've got to talk about how just buying an item for $20 and then selling it for 32 and we should be able to make it is not the way that this is going to go down. There's a whole lot more involved. Number 3, how to build flywheels. So different chunks and pieces that you're thinking about when you're starting your business, or if you already have one, that you can put in place that when you do, they start to turn and churn and actually get you to a place where it can be successful, generating an income and be scalable. Number 3, we can learn from what shops are doing now that I've seen has been successful as I've traveled in a lot of places. So we'll talk about the specifics of what I see working, and we'll also talk about the things that I wish I would have done and the things that I'm doing now that is working. And then number 5, we're going to talk about the things that you need to think about to reverse engineer your vision. Think about what it looks like 5 years from now and start working backwards to be like, oh, so this is what I need to do now to get there, there, and there. So with that first one, it's choosing your path with intention. So what is it that you want with your business? Because there are thousands of paths that you can take to get up the mountain to $1 million, let's say. So my Ocean Beach Cafe did 1 million last year, and it's going to do 1.2 million this year in 2025. But in 2023, I did 600,000. In 22, I did 500,000. And in my first year, 2021, I did 400,000. So to recap, that was 400K. Then I did 500K. Then I did 600K. Then I did a million. Huge jump. We can talk about how that happened. And then I did 1.2 million. So that was selling a lot of coffees and selling a whole lot of sandwiches. But I also sold a whole lot of non-alcoholic cocktails and a whole lot of non-alcoholic beverage retail. So what do you want your business to look like? And this is so important. When you're actually writing down a business plan, your mission statement is something that is so hugely important because it's really going to define now, when you're in the middle of it, and later on, like why you're doing this. And it can always kind of be your North Star when you're asking questions about what you're doing and where you're going and your why. So get an amazing mission statement, and you absolutely need to create a one-page business plan because that's going to answer a ton of questions and a bunch that you haven't even asked yet. Having that mission is also important because when you're thinking about what you want your life to look like, what you envision your life being like when it's successful. Like some people may want to go have a huge impact in the world and have a $50 million business. I do. And so when I'm thinking about that, then I can think back about all the things I would need to do now to make that whole package happen. And we'll get that into step 5. So stay to the end for that information. But choosing your path is so important because a lot of times entrepreneurs get into business kind of going with their intuition or just maybe what they've seen growing up. Like any shop down the street in your neighborhood, like let's say it's a furniture store and it's like, oh, I'm going to buy the furniture and then I'm going to sell it for more and then hopefully this all works out. And there's ways to do business, and especially now in 2025, that are not anything that you would have been taught in school. It wouldn't have been anything that you would have seen from your parents necessarily. And there's a whole lot of tools out there right now. There's a lot of education, and there's a lot of different ways to think about doing business that will massively impact what of the many thousands of paths that you can take to get to your first million, and then thinking about if you want to get to 5 million and 10 million and 50 million and 100 million, it actually would, if you're trying to get to $100 million companies, there, that's just a few paths. So now we've just whittled it down from thousands upon possible tasks to get to a million to do you want to get to 100 million? And so that's a certain select paths, and then you start building from that. Going on into topic number 2, people think about buying something for $20 and then selling it for $32. It's totally understandable, but there's things that you can put in place that end up feeding on each other and then end up churning that wheel, and then it starts picking up speed. And because you thought of all of this stuff when you were starting out your business, or you started thinking about them now, they just started moving and they start compounding on each other. And what does that look like? So if you have a business now, have you ever thought about like how many reviews you get for your shop if you have a brick and mortar, or how many reviews you get online if you have a beverage product? That kind of social proof. And then how important that is into your business, because then you get pushed into more places where people can actually see you on Google. And then if people can see you more on Google, like have you thought about like the keywords that are in your Google business account and how important those are? They're actually super important. So there's an example of a restaurant up the street from me. I'm here in San Francisco, and they are just struggling. And most places are that are food and beverage brick and mortars. And especially if you're a non-alcoholic beverage focused brick and mortar, it's all hard. And a little side note on that, everything is hard. Of course, we're going to look for like what's kind of like the easiest, fastest way to do that. Very natural to do. I do it all day, every day. But what I've realized is everything is level 9 hard. So you kind of need to choose like one to go with, because it's just consider it the same level of hard. So I'm happy to help other entrepreneurs. I love doing it, and I'm doing it with my restaurant up the street. And I go and look at their Google business page, and I'm like, oh my goodness, there's so many things here that need to change. And I just sat down there with them and I was like, all right, we got to do this. We're going to change this main title. We got to change your whole category. Like, what do you guys want to go for? Your sandwiches, right? They're like, yeah. I was like, sandwiches. I was like, now you're going to take some business from me, because like my sandwiches are amazing. And it's part of why people come in and find me, is because I'm right next to the beach and they need sandwiches and they need coffee. And I know what all my keywords are and I dial all that in. But if you didn't know that, you're just not getting served to as many places. And I ended up following back up with them a week later, and I kind of researched their stuff online, and they started popping up for sandwiches now. And I don't think they're going to take any business from me, and whatever. It's like I'm getting mine down by the beach. They need theirs up in the Balboa Village up the street. They need, and they're getting it. So one of the main things that I want to bring up here is if you just knew that having the Google business account keywords and getting a whole bunch of reviews on it and like really spending time in there and putting events in there and putting promotions in there and really knowing your Google business inside and out, this free thing that is available, can actually make an impact on your business. But if you didn't know that, then it would be something that you could be missing out on revenue wise and actually affect your success. And the point here is there is 100 more things that you may not know. And because you don't know them, it can impact tens of millions of dollars. If I would have known the things that I know now, I would have done things very different 5 years from now. So here we are right now. What are you doing to fill your brain with skills and experience and things that other people have done? Well, right now you're listening to me. Great. I'm going to try to distill everything that I've learned to try and help you with all of that. While I'm learning 100 more things now so that I can help. I've spent hundreds of hours on YouTube, especially in 2025. Right now it's September of 25. And my time is so valuable. I fill my days with 10, 12 hours every day. I get up with enthusiasm, ready to go, to take over the world, build my empire as a Capricorn, and just go, how many things can I get done today? And I've been that way for 5 years straight. So when I say hundreds of hours on YouTube, that's because I'm like, oh my goodness, I am thinking about business differently. I was having a meeting with Izzy of Sobertopia in San Francisco. And I asked her, I was like, how many hours a week are you like spending on building your community? And I kind of knew the answer. It was like 20 to 30 hours. And I'm like, you think she's making any money with that? No, she's not. And that's okay. Kind of. I mean, if you're going to be spending 20 to 30 hours building community, actually, there's a whole business with building community. And in fact, if you knew that business like pretty well, if you spent 10 hours learning community building and monetizing it, but in a really good way, because you just gave a whole bunch of value and you offered something that was just like amazing, that when people were like, oh, that's $40 a month, like totally, I got a community to hang out with and we do this and that and I learn this and we interact on the community page and we do all of these things. Like take my $40 and then you could find like 100 people or 200 people in this huge city, like totally. For $40 times 200 people, isn't that $8,000 a month? And are you spending 20 to 30 hours a week anyway? And haven't you been building this whole thing for like 3 or 4 years? And so like, why not? You just had to get the skills to know and the places to go to and like the platform to learn all of this. And her life was changed. I could see it. She was like, oh my God, like I have so much stuff to think about. I'm like, I love this stuff. Like you get the skills and you learn the things and then you go do the hard thing. Again, it's all level 9 hard and you learn the new thing. And as any entrepreneur knows, it's all learning hard things all the time. And she's going to go through the world now getting information. She just needed that spark. And so that's what I want this community to be about, is that spark. This is the place to get that. And this is the place to interact with others. When people come into this community, they're going to be putting in the 3 things they're struggling with the most, and then like what they can share and offer and like and what they're doing. So we can all do this together. Like this, it's not going to be driven on complaining and like, oh, this just sucks. This is going to be like tactical, value driven. Let's help each other out, because that is the thing that we need to do, is we need to be getting together and sharing the things that we know, because I'm going to get tips from you guys and I'm going to try to give as many as I can and make this super fun and entertaining. So number 4 is, what can we learn from some of the successful shops as I've seen them? So Rob of Generation NA, Lafayette, Indiana. And I've been there a couple of times now, and it's just unfreaking believable. And there's several things that he did because he actually got the high volume. Like that's a huge one in this business. He's like, "Do you have a way that you're going to sell 100 bottles in a day? Do you? If that's not in your plan, then like, I mean, what are we doing? Are you how are you going to sell 100 bottles in a year or two from now in a day? Okay. Well, that's why we're here. It's because we have to get those kinds of plans and those kinds of impacts. He did it with community. This is all about community. That is the glue and that is the thing that infuses everything. And it's also the thing that's really fulfilling. You give people a place to go to and it feels like something. I mean, he even has like a bar space in there. So like, yeah, the bar thing, it's like a place we go to meet people. Isn't that great? And tasty beverages and cheers and like the vibes, the ambiance, and it's just an epic place. And his revenue is just like it's just unbelievable. Another one is Cheeky and Dry in Seattle. She's told me like what she can do in a daily. That's 100 bottles. And she has experience in that. And getting that kind of volume is, and having a plan on how to get that much volume is super important. There's a couple others that have been able to expand, which is amazing. So that would be Monday Mornings in San Diego. Got a second location. Minus Moonshine in New York. So they have all figured it out pretty much on their own as they went. And like, I'm going to get them in here so we can talk about what that looks like. But do know that wherever you're at and whatever building you're in or whatever thing you're actually doing is going to be unique to yourself and who you're going to have to contact to get stuff. But this will be the place to like learn from them. And that is one of the things I think is going to help the industry as a whole. And I am looking forward to all of it. And then number 5, reverse engineering your vision. So if I'm like, I want a $100 million business. I believe I can do that in 5 to 7 years in my industry. So what does that look like? It's like, okay, well, if it was $100 million business, let's go at 50 million. 50 million, a little more realistic. And then I'll take those investments and I'll use them wisely and AI at the time. I'll get to the 100 million after that. Yeah, so the $100 million plan, like, oh my goodness, that's just so big. It's like that. I got one life. I want to make huge impact. All right, $100 million business. Got it. All right, so for that first 50 million, I think I would have to be somebody that was a voice and a face of a movement of people drinking less. Cool. Love that. Let's go. I think I would have to define the look and feel of that movement. And that is a thing that involves hundreds of millions of people in this country alone. So hundreds of millions of people have something in common. So there's totally $50 million in there. Okay. So what they have in common is that they're drinking less and that they care about wellness. Ah, wellness. Actually, that's so interesting. I mean, I talk about non-alcoholic all the time and my non-alcoholic bar and everything, but like, I think I need to bridge non-alcoholic with wellness because there's $1 trillion in wellness. There's more than that. And there's like 1 billion in non-alcoholic and like non-alcoholic, like I don't really like either of those words. Wellness sounds great. I need to build a bridge between non-alcoholic and wellness. And somewhere in there, there's a whole lot more money because non-alcoholic is like, I mean, we're still in mocktail land. Mocktails, $4 drinks. So $4 drinks, mocktail, non-alcoholic, alcohol-free, like fajitos, like talking about what we are not when Let's talk about what we are. So, functional drinks, wellness drinks. Oh, I like that. It just feels better. So, so we talk about it differently then. This is upgrade. This is a superpower. This is what we are. And when somebody defines that, like there's $50 million in there. So I would need a show on Netflix. Definitely need a show on Netflix. If alcohol is being disrupted and people are drinking less, like drinking less than they ever have in the last 90 years, like right now. Oh yeah, that's a documentary. Actually, you know what? We need a docu-series because there's too much to cover there. So we need a docu-series, like 6 episodes, cool. And we could do multiple seasons of that because there's a whole international contingent. Like we need to go to the UK and Japan and Australia. I mean, all the stuff going on in Europe, it's is huge. Yeah, so you have a travel show that's educational and super freaking entertaining. Great. Okay. Well, that comes along with a whole brand in itself. All right, so I need to go get $400,000 to create a docuseries on Netflix or Hulu or whatever. Cool. Let's do that. And then let's attach a brand to the whole thing. Like we need to get a community together that the 250 million people that have something in common, which is they're drinking less. All right, cool. Let's do that. What does that look like? Well, I mean, it's kind of a bunch of things, and you got to work towards all of them. But now that I'm thinking about it, like I need a podcast and I want an app. I need an app where people can like be a part of this community and be like, what's in my area? What are the events? Because we have 1 million users on the app. Okay, we have 1 million users on the app. Why do they get the app? It's like, oh, it's because it's really cool. It's like the colors and the look and feel, and it tells me what events are going on and what bars around me got good drinks and like this wellness community. Look, oh my God, it looks like there's like 12 different wellness ladies in San Francisco, and then when I'm in Nashville, it's like, oh yeah, there's all kinds of places, and like the yoga studios are in here, and I can see like all this stuff going on and I can even if you want to like I can see other people to like hang out with and stuff that they're doing. Okay, great. I've created this community that people want to be a part of this brand and then like there's a brand name to it and it's a hoodie and it's high quality and it's awesome and like it looks really cool. I want to wear that because I'm a part of that community and I have that in common with 200 million other people. Like so now you have apparel and then you have well I would have a beverage. I would want to create my own beverage that was just like the freaking coolest beverage ever. Definitely. Like, I want that to be in the hand of every Gen Z person that's doing a cafe rave at 11 a.m. in Los Angeles. Yeah. Like, define it. Like, make it taste great. Make it look great. Make it feel great. This is empowering. This is a whole thing that people do want in their lives. They want to raise their vibration. It's like, okay, now 50 million doesn't seem too crazy, does it? So all the things that come along with that, like I'm going to be consulting at that point because if I'm doing all of those things, people are just going to find me and it's going to be like, hey, can you help us with this thing? Like, here's a $15,000 contract. Here's a $10,000 contract, or we'll pay you $50,000 to come and speak at this thing. Like, I can totally get there. Like, what? That all happened because I was like, this is where I want to be. What are all the things that I would have to do to get there? And then you see where you're at, and then you start putting a strategy together. And now that we've got AI tools to do these things, like that's massive because you can put all that information in there and it can start having you ideate this whole thing and start getting this strategy, and then you just spend time with it. And a really valuable piece of information is the amount of time that you put into your strategy and choosing which path is so massive because where are you going towards? Where are you going to? What is your vision? Because you could be taking this one that actually just stops around here because you didn't put all the strategy together because you just didn't know. So spend the time on that strategy and really put it together and then put that business plan together and use the AI for that too. Because there's a way. You got to define it for yourself and what you want. Future videos are going to be coming up where I'm going to talk about the AI tools I love to use. I've been using a lot of them. I've spent hundreds of hours in there as well. It's kind of fun for me and it's really entertaining. So we're going to talk about all of those things. So this is the start of getting together and figuring this thing out for us and for the generations to come of people that want to get into the non-alcoholic focused entrepreneurial journey. Let's freaking go. I hope you guys enjoyed that and you guys see what I'm doing here, right? It's just freaking standing up and getting into the arena and going hard in the paint and doing it consistently. And I want to be here to help inspire to do that. And because I love this so much, and yeah, it's a part of my $50 million plan as well. And it's going to take you guys as well, because like I really want to hear from you. Put comments in so I can know exactly what you guys want to talk about, what you liked about that, what you want to hear more of. And I'm going to be looking at all of those and I can expand on all of them. This video is about 20 something minutes, and that's good and all, but like I have another 100 videos coming. Leaving the comments in there is going to get other people to see them as well. I get to see them and then we get to talk about them, and I'm just going to keep digging through all of it. I want to share all of the pro tips that I got. I want to hear your guys's as well. So please leave some comments, interact with others inside of the community, and I am looking forward to all of this. Thank you for being here. This is going to be awesome.